Djibouti is a tiny country of just over 1 million people, but its strategic location above the Horn of Africa makes it a key player both in the region and in the international community. Home to 5 military bases belonging to the United States, Japan, Italy, France and China, it serves as a key ally in the global fight against terror and piracy. I'm Adesewa Josh, and I've been speaking to President Ismail Guelleh about the role his country plays in securing the region. President Ismail Guelleh, thank you so much for speaking to TRT World. September is a very busy month with the Africa Climate Summit, the IGAD peace mediation in Sudan. I know you've been very busy with that too. Also, there is the UN General Assembly, even though I noticed that you didn't go there, you sent your minister. I was just wondering, if this is a reflection of the ongoing, growing sentiment among African leaders that the UN General Assembly may have become an irrelevant summit to the internal affairs of Africa. Do you share that sentiment?
It was a useful instrument of dialogue, of cooperation, of gathering every time peace and security. It has taken a long time that it seems that it's not. It must be revised in its constitution, in its forecast as it is now, not that it was in 1945.
Djibouti recently became the chair of IGAD.
Yes.
And you are the leader. And under your leadership, it took on a very ambitious peace mediation process in Sudan. It's been 5 months.
Sudan?
Yeah.
Sudan?
Yes. 5 months on, I just wanted to know if you think you're making progress on that issue.
It's a very sensitive question. It's a very sensitive problem, very difficult to approach because of the involvement of so many partners and so many actors. Sudan is now in a very bad shape. We are looking for resolving this problem by dialogue, not by force. Without dialogue, there is no peace. Without dialogue, there is no understanding of the problem. Without dialogue, there is no way to achieve our goals and see the peace for the sake of the people of Sudan.
Somalia government formally recently requested the extension of ATMIS troops. I know that Djibouti is very well invested in terms of security in Somalia since 2007 with at least 2,000 soldiers. I mean, being a very small country, you're contributing a lot to the peace mission. What do you make of this request for extension? And do you think Djibouti is keen?
These coming months are crucial. Otherwise, we will see the repetition of Afghanistan when American troops withdraw from the country without preparing. So this one it will be more the hope of all the people will be put down. So
you support the extension?
We need to have at least 3 months to accept that the African troops should go home.
You know, the Ethiopia Renaissance Dam crisis is rocking the region again, with Egypt recently expressing discontent over the filling of the dam. I know how connected Ethiopia is to Djibouti, and Djibouti, Ethiopia, how important you are to both, to each other's economy. And I was wondering, at the time that the crisis was boiling over, what steps did you take to simmer tensions? And now that it looks like it is starting up again, what will you do to make it go away?
Egypt and Ethiopia had hundreds or thousands of years together, sharing water and Nile, and religion. And it is يعني normal that two so close two countries had problems in their relations. The dam is here now. It's a reality. How to deal with it? Has in Egypt been harmed till now? No. We didn't knew that. But without dialogue, without understanding of the two positions, Ethiopians say we need to develop our country with this water that we never touched. Egypt said it's a question of lifeline.
You know, at the heart of this crisis is the scramble for energy autonomy and also the sharing of water, a very vital resource in the region. All right. And I was wondering, you know, what sort of role the newly launched Djibouti power farm, you know, the power wind farm would play, if any.
It is our long journey to be self-sufficient in power and especially green power. We have projects of sun, which will start the coming 3 months or less. We have geothermal programs. We have wind, and we have the interconnection with Ethiopia also. All these elements should lead to the autonomy and independence of energy.
There must be a lot of pressure that comes with the dual strategic role that Djibouti plays as a maritime gatekeeper in the Horn of Africa and a Red Sea littoral state. I imagine that a lot of pressure would be coming from countries like Saudi Arabia, Iran, Egypt, on your decision-making processes. How do you handle that?
We are invisible sometimes. We are here without disturbing the move of peace and security and not contribute or participate in any question of damaging the interest of any country who has something to do with us.
So live and let's live, basically.
Inshallah.
You're doing better with Iran now.
Yeah.
Just a couple of days ago, your Minister of Foreign Affairs announced that you have re-established diplomatic ties with Iran after 7 years hiatus.
Yes.
Can you explain what changed your mind? Was it because Saudi Arabia did the same thing?
Maybe because of the attitude with Yemen. Yemen is our neighboring countries, and we have communities in. And we have seen that the attitude of, or the intervention of Iran in the war of Yemen was not acceptable. That's why we put down. But now, Iran recognized that this policy was not, what do you call, profitable for anybody.
Are you saying that Iran has stopped supporting the Houthis?
Yes, at least fueling with weapons and missiles and accepted to have normal relations with Saudi Arabia. That contributed to the peace in our vicinity also.
How would you describe your relationship, Djibouti's relationship with Turkey?
With?
Turkey.
Turkey, yes, the new term.
It's Turkey.
Turkey. When Erdogan became president, he put his country on the good track and legitimate track. And as a Middle East country, as Euro-Asian country, as a very sensible, we call in French sensible, for the relations with African countries, Muslim countries. So it's good relations and leadership of Turkey in our region is more than satisfactory. So we want to develop, enhance relations profitable for all of us.
What do you make of the wave of coups blowing across former French colonies in Africa? Are you surprised or concerned?
Now it's time also to revise the relations of France with the African countries. They have tried to explain, but they didn't listen. Yes. So now France is obliged
to listen.
Yes, to understand or to try to understand why Russians came yesterday and took over the partnership and cooperation with France, with African countries. Now, I think the leaders in leadership in France should understand how they can create a new atmosphere, a new partnership as free countries who can decide for themselves and for their future.
As president, what would you like your legacy to be?
We must count only for our intelligence and find the way to develop our country using our own and find the resources to be self-sufficient.
President Ismail Guelleh, thank you so much for speaking to TRT World.